Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Four of Swords. That's a card called Truce. That is a card that says, for the time being, we're not arguing. Okay? For the time being, we're going to sit down across from each other and we're going to listen. Okay? It doesn't mean that we agree with each other. It doesn't mean that we have the same opinions. It doesn't mean that I'm convinced, but I'm willing to listen. All right? So this is a card of listening. It's also a card, I think, of calming down the mind. I think there's sometimes a lot of stress for you, right, Cancer? And this card is calming some of that down, okay? Learning to breathe through some of the stress, some of the anxiety. Let's put this into some context, though. Let's do the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. Now we're building something, okay? Probably stress related to whatever your work is right now. And maybe you're retired, maybe you're in school, whatever the case is, whatever you're putting your efforts into. You know, if you're in school, well, that's definitely work, right? If you're retired, this is whatever you're doing with your days. Could be your garden. It could be your library. It could be your volunteer work. Could be your job. Could be, another career. It's whatever you are putting it could be your creative work, right? Whatever you're putting your effort into. I like to say with work that it's whatever we're burning calories doing, right? Whatever is requiring our energy that we do on a semi-regular basis, okay? And that's the Prince of Pentacles. That's the builder, right? And I think I have a feeling about these two cards because it seems like you're in the middle of doing this work that you do. And we're trying not to be stressed out. We're trying not to worry about something. We're trying to just listen and breathe and not get stressed out. But it's kind of like maybe things aren't going exactly your way. Maybe there is a downturn. Maybe things are slowing down. Oh, but they're going to ramp back up. They're getting better. Things are improving. And it's because really of your effort. You've had all this creative energy. Now it's kind of slowed down because we're just kind of in work mode, right? You don't feel that inspiration that you once felt. And I think it's because, and we'll see, ooh, Nine of Cups. I think it's because things have slowed down. Yeah, see, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the slowdown. It's the Seven of Pentacles. But we've got a renewal of that excitement. I think that's a very good sign. Princess of Wands, Ace of Wands. The Five of Cups, obviously what we're trying to avoid in this position. One of these, oh, Cancer. That's your power card. We've got to ring the bell. Anytime we get a power card here on this channel, we ring our bell. Because that means that Spirit's in the room, right? That it's a strong confirmation for you. This is the Chariot. The Chariot is the tarot card that rules the sign of Cancer. Okay, I'm sure most of you know that. One of these days, as I was saying, one of these days I'll make a video that just details the Dove and Serpent spread and kind of how I view this setup and what some of the positions mean and how they interact with each other, because I think it's important to understanding the reading, knowing, oh, that card and that card, they've got something going on together, right? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we'll just grab a random card. We'll put our very own Kelly Kapoor right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us our confirmation at the end. Okay. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, go ahead and put your prediction down below. Okay? Let's do it together. Let's make it an interactive group exercise of intuition. All right. Let's look around the room. We see our just two major arcana energies. And I think these two major arcana energies, the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot together, you are in store for just something that is wildly successful. Okay, the Chariot card at the end here tells me that at the end of the day, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing in your life, and you know it. The problem is that we're looking at a slowdown. We're looking at a period of time where the success is not very great. It's dipping down. Things are getting a little bit less, right, than what they have been. I think what the real revelation is here, this huge revelation, I think, is that the excitement, the enthusiasm, the happiness even, we've got the Nine of Cups, we've got the happiness, we've got the success, we've got the fire energy with that excitement, that enthusiasm, that zest for what you're doing, that passion in what you're doing, was just a taste of what is to come. Okay, and you're looking at this future and thinking it's kind of dark. It looks like things are trending downward. It looks like things are slowing down. And you're trying to just maintain. You're trying to be calm through it, right? I think what Spirit is saying is that the happiness, this kind of enthusiasm that you had before, this Prince of Wands, this was just a fraction. What I'm kind of sensing here, if you look at these cards, is that there was a time where this seemed a lot more successful, right? That it's almost as if you have these memories of this golden age, right? Where things were just so successful, and let's say this is a business thing where the money was just flowing in, just buckets of cash coming in. And I think that's slowed down. I think you're looking at this kind of dark period of time, and maybe it's like a seasonal thing. But I feel like that success that you experienced, right? That very prosperous, very flourishing, lucrative time, that golden age, I feel like that was just a small taste. That was just a fraction of what's to come. And all you have to do right now is hold fast to your work, is stay in this. This is the center of it all, right? And we'll talk about this card, the Four of Swords. When things get a little bit sticky, things get a little bit hairy, the best thing for you to do is not to start changing your mind, not to start doing something different or abandoning your work or thinking that you have to make a lot of sudden moves. No, it's for you to breathe and work through it. Okay. I'm so thankful that we don't have a Five of Swords here. In fact, this is the only air energy we have, is the Four of Swords. We got a lot of fire. We've got the right water, the water that we need. We want to avoid turmoil. We want to avoid disappointment. We want to avoid sadness and sorrow, the negative emotions, right? Of course, we don't want those. What we want is happiness. This is at the top. This is our ultimate aspiration. It's just to be happy and fulfilled and satisfied, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. 3 levels of our being here, right? That's our aspiration. We have a little bit of air, and this right now is coupled with the builder of the Prince of Pentacles. This shows the method, right? We've got that air energy, and we really just have a little bit of earth. And the earth right now, which kind of, to me, the Seven of Pentacles, it represents the immediate perception. It's kind of like what you're perceiving right now through your senses, what you could taste, touch, smell, see, and all this stuff. And I think it just seems like, things are just getting worse. Things are not as good as they used to be, right? This is what's coming in through the senses, but I think you have this intuition. You have this feeling of this Wheel of Fortune within you. You know at any moment things are going to just explode into this amazing success, right? And I think that you're aware of that. I think that you feel it deep down within you, that the success that you've had say last year or whenever it was, that golden age. Just a fraction of what's to come. All right. So let's talk about the Prince of Pentacles, because this is you actively building, working, doing this thing. You're showing up every day. You're someone who is very committed. Okay. You're dedicated. And this is what Spirit is saying. You have to keep doing this. You have to show up every day, put in the hard work. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. You know, try to maintain a Four of Swords kind of attitude that I'm here. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to listen. I'm going to stay open and receptive, right? I'm not going to argue. It doesn't mean that I believe everything. I'm not fully in agreement with stuff, but I'm just going to show up every day and do my work and hope for the best, right? And this is all we can really do right now, because that that change is coming, even though we can't see it with our physical eyes right now, right? Maybe we've got to use our spiritual senses, our intuition, and I think we know what's in store. But it doesn't make it any easier to endure this period of dryness. Now, maybe we're not talking about a business. Maybe this is a relationship. Maybe this is romance. Maybe this is your creative work, right? Maybe this is your success at school or something like this, right? I feel in the past you were very enthusiastic about it. You were very fired up. When things are good, you know, when things are really prospering, I feel like we get really charged. We get really energized. We can't wait to go and do it again tomorrow. When we perceive things like this, it's kind of, we lose a little bit of the fire. Maybe we don't feel quite as enthusiastic. We don't feel quite as excited to get up every day. But we're still, see, earth energy. We're still showing up. We're still doing our very best work. But we just are in this holding pattern almost of trying not to freak out. Okay? Trying to maintain the balance that we need in order to keep doing this. So, when things aren't as successful as they used to be, it's better to just kind of batten down the hatches and weather the storm. Show up every day, do your very best job, and put in the work. This is where it really gets to be work, right? We think of any activity that we start, and it could be even a musical instrument. When we first start playing, I'm actually left-handed. When we first start playing, we enjoy it so much. We're so into it. We have all of this zeal and zest about it. We're enthusiastic, we're ambitious. It feels good, And then maybe our success plateaus a little bit. Maybe I'm not getting the hang of the chords as fast as I was. I'm getting kind of bored playing the same old Mary Had a Little Lamb kind of thing. And so we go through this period of dryness. And it's kind of like that honeymoon period that we had with the Prince of Wands is kind of over. And now it just becomes work, right? It's that middle period where you have to have that sustain, right? You're a cardinal water sign, so you get very fired up at the beginning. You get very happy at the very beginning. And then that happiness kind of gives way to the practical reality of, hey, this is going to be a lot of work. You have to endure through that period to get to the really, really good success, right? That beginning period, that honeymoon period, that was just the taste, right? But now we've got this Wheel of Fortune, we've got that Nine of Cups, we've got your Power card. This is going to be extraordinary, right? But we have to endure. We have to just kind of show up and practice our instrument every day, diligently. Trying not to, Four of Swords, try not to complain too much. Okay? Now, we've got the Five of Cups over here in the position of what we don't want. So it tells me that, we will complain a little bit. This card is what we're trying to avoid, but yet it's still here, right? So we're going to experience a range of emotions, and that's okay. What we have to do, according to the Chariot card, is stay obedient to our will. stay obedient to our commitment and our devotion to do this thing, whatever it was, if it's work, if it's school, if it's family, if it's, whatever. If it's spirituality, if it's your art, we stay committed. We stay in our lane. We stay on that path. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune down beneath the surface, it says here that in your gut, you know everything has a season, right? That this is kind of a natural cycle. You really do. You know this to be true in your spirit. But our mind is saying, yeah, but come on, I'm not seeing it, right? And so this is the difficult part for the mind. And that's why we've got that Four of Swords. It says you're going to be struggling to stay calm, stay balanced, stay in your calm breathing, right? Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Don't freak out. Don't start, arguing with the universe about this. Just try to maintain this balance and this stability of the Four. Because what your gut says, what your intuition, what spirit says is different than what your mind is perceiving. Your mind is looking at things like this and saying, doesn't look like anything's growing there, does it? So there's kind of irreconcilable differences here. Spirit is saying one thing, your gut, your intuition is saying one thing, and then your mind, your perception is seeing something that's kind of contradictory. So who's right? Who do we defer to? Well, I think in this case, we have to trust our gut. We have to trust our intuition. We know that in whatever work you're doing, if this is a creative work, right? Maybe your creative activity, that fire comes in waves. It comes in cycles, right? It has its season. And maybe this is just kind of a natural kind of lull where you're not feeling as creative. You're not having as many good ideas as you used to. Something like this. The success isn't there. Maybe you've been absolutely consistent, but it just the reception isn't there. Like the customers aren't there as they used to be, right? And because of that kind of downturn, which seems, seasonal in a way, we've lost a little bit of that fire. Okay. But the Wheel of Fortune does say that, hey, things are always in motion. Things are always turning, okay? And this is the card that's right beneath the surface. So you know that in due time, things are going to hit again, okay? And up above everything, your highest goal, your highest aspiration is not financial success. It's not fortune and fame, fortune and glory. I mean, that's part of it, but there's a deeper happiness that you're looking for. There's a spiritual satisfaction. There's a satisfaction of your creative drive. There's, like I said, there's the physical, financial, health-related goals. There's mental, emotional goals. You want it to feel good. You want to be, you want to be engaged. You want to be kind of involved, and you want to have something to do and something you enjoy doing. You want to have the spiritual, creative satisfaction. Okay, so it means to me that we want to get that fire back. We want to be enthusiastic about our work. Come what may of it, I want that fire. I want that sense of spiritual connection. I want that creativity. I want that zeal and zest back, right? Because I think that is a very meaningful energy for you. Now, the Nine of Cups is the pursuit of happiness. It's the following of your bliss. And that's the feeling that we want again, even when we kind of see the darkness that's kind of in front of us right now. We can't really perceive the success. It doesn't have to take away from your feeling, right? It doesn't have to take away from the realization or the acknowledgement that you are doing what you're meant to do, okay? And I know it's contradictory, right? It's kind of like if I was doing what I was supposed to do, I would see something different in my vision, right? But this is what you see in front of you in this position here, okay? And that, again, is why we need the mind to stay calm, don't freak out. This is just it's a temporary lull, okay? This is that middle period where you just have to continue doing that work. And again, it was just a little taste. That success that you had before, that golden age, is just a fraction of what is to come. All right. Now, on the path of the serpent, and as we talk about these cards, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. I appreciate you. We see the return of this fire energy. Now we've got a Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands is kind of when we get jazzed up again. We start to see that some of this success is returning. Some of this it looks like the wheel is turning around again, and things are starting to get better and better and better. And we get really fired up, all right? The Princess of Wands can sometimes be impulsive. And I think this might be some of the initial energy where you feel this surge of fire, of ambition, and it might lead you to really want to make too many changes. It's like you got an idea and you think it's the best idea you've ever had, right? We have to, Four of Swords, we've got to hold off on doing those kinds of things. You don't want to do anything impulsive, thinking that if you do something new, if you switch it up, if you make it fresh, if you start painting in a different style, right, that somehow it's going to lead to more success. Well, don't do that yet. Because I think that's a result of these two. These two are intimately connected on the Dove and Serpent spread. And as this wheel turns, as we feel like things are starting to go up, 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 immediately we're going to feel a switch is going to be flipped in us, and we're going to be right back to our fiery activity. Our enthusiasm is going to come right back. And we're going to have a lot of ideas. We're going to have a lot of things that we want to do related to the success or involving the work that you do, your creative work, your career, whatever it is. Maybe you're going to feel like now, okay, things are getting a little bit better. Now I have all these ideas and I'm going to start doing those ideas, right? That's a little bit impulsive. That's when things start to get a little bit better and suddenly you're off and running again. We've got to hold back a little bit. So that we don't do anything that's going to kind of throw things off, right? So things start to pick up again. You've got to let them pick up speed. You've got to let them get going. And then you can kind of, figure out what you want to do differently, how you want to proceed, what the future is going to be like. And, we can go with that. But if we start making too many changes right at the beginning of this kind of uptick, then I think we're maybe we're going to derail it a little bit. Does that make sense? So the Princess of Wands is that fiery enthusiasm that wants to do a whole bunch of different things. We've got to try to control this energy because I think we're being lit up again as things start to get better, as we see the improvement. Don't get carried away. Don't get overzealous, right? These two, there's a lot of fire here, right? We need that sustained enthusiasm. We need this Prince of Wands back. This is kind of, we see the Prince of Wands, right? And then we've got the Princess with this fire wand, yeah? So it kind of says to me that there is this more, I don't want to say immature, but there's this other part of us, maybe it's a little bit more immature. It's kind of like giving a kid the credit card, or the blank check or the keys to the kingdom. And it's just, it's kind of overwhelming excitement, What we need is the very steady enthusiasm, the very, I think, control. I think this fixed fire energy with the Prince of Wands is very much in control of this fiery energy, this ambition, this creativity, this enthusiasm. Here, it seems like a kid in a candy store, right? So there's a difference there. It's both fire energy. It's both very creative. I think this is that overzealous energy that we're going to feel when things really start to pick up again, and they will, right? I think this is a huge revelation. And it really, it's speaking to me that the success that you tasted in the past, the golden age that you experienced, how good it has been, is nothing compared to how good it will be. That was just a taste, a sample of what's to come, right? And we're just in one of those down periods, one of those, it's just a lull, right? It's just part of the cyclic nature of this, okay? And it really feels to me like it's kind of a business thing for you. And I don't know if it's maybe something at work, or maybe you do some kind of seasonal work. Maybe you're starting your own business and you're starting to kind of learn how those seasons go for you. Not that they match up with the natural seasons or the seasons of the sun and earth, but just kind of the natural swing of business in whatever you're doing, right? So we've got the Ace of Wands in that position of the environment. Things start to really get charged up. We don't want to start changing everything right away, right? The Five of Cups is something that we don't want. We want to avoid the Five of Cups, and that's because, well, nobody really wants to be sad or disappointed or feel upset. But we know that there's going to be a range of emotions here, and I think we're experiencing some of them now. The position of what we don't want very often related to what's right in the middle of the Dove and Serpent spread. So it's difficult. We're trying to do our very best. We've gone from this really fired up, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow, to be like, okay, I don't want to, but I'm going to keep doing it day in, day out. We're showing up, we're dedicated, right? So we've gone from fire to earth here. And then here we've got our air and water. We're trying to just keep our heart and mind in line, harmonized. Maybe your heart some days is really in it, other days is not. And your mind, you're trying to just kind of keep it steady and stable, right? We're just trying to keep it quiet more than anything. So we're going from a 5 to a 4. Not only is it heart and mind, you're feeling and you're thinking that you've got a control right now, right? But it's also going from kind of chaos to stability. So it's kind of like there's good days and bad days. It's a fluctuation. It's a whole range of emotions, right? And that range of emotions is going to do its very best to disturb your mind. We've got to keep our mind stable. We've got to pray, meditate. We've got to find other things to keep ourselves kind of to stay busy, right? To stay not busy technically, but like to keep our mind occupied so we don't start overthinking and worrying, right? We want that Four of Swords, that calm, that breath, that deep breath. The rhythmic kind of mind. So maybe it means finding some other things to do that you enjoy so that you're not overthinking this work thing or this relationship thing or this spiritual thing, whatever it is, right? Because the emotions are there. Now, we don't want them and they are the obstacle, but that's something we have to overcome. We have to overcome the waves of emotion that might end up washing this whole thing away. Because then, honestly, we're screwed. Okay? That's the challenge for you. That's why the Five of Cups is in that position. But at the end, the Chariot card, the Chariot is you on your path right where you're supposed to be. This is your power card. Superpower. It's commitment. It's devotion. It's obedience to that higher energy. It's obedience to your will, to your ultimate goal. And obedience basically means that even when you don't want to do something, you do it anyway. Right? That's what obedience means to me. Because we're not obedient to somebody else, that we're under somebody else's control or somebody else's thumb, but obedience to our own will, our own spirit. Okay? Because again, you know that this is where you're supposed to be, even though your mind is saying, yeah, but I can't see the benefit, I can't see the success right now. Your Chariot energy is saying, yes, mind, I am aware of that, but we're going to do it anyway. We're committed to this. We're devoted. We're going to be obedient to our own higher will. Okay? And I think that this is saying stay in your lanes. Keep doing exactly what you've been doing. Right? Don't make any big changes. Don't, especially when things start to get a little bit better, don't feel like the kid in the candy store. Don't let that really happen. You're going to feel it, but just don't act on it, right? Stay kind of steady on your course, and you'll achieve the full expansion of this Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is that Jupiter energy. It's expanding, right? It's growing larger and larger and larger. But it's on like a spiral. It's like things may grow really, really fast, and then they may not grow at all. And then they grow really, really, really fast, and maybe they don't grow at all. This is going to keep expanding infinitely if you stay committed, if you stay on this path, if you stay. It doesn't mean that you're never going to have to do anything different. Okay, that's not the point. Eventually, yeah, you'll have to make changes, you'll have to make big decisions, all these kinds of things. But for right now, stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing. The success is imminent. And I think really that huge revelation is that the success that you've experienced previous, just a sample, just a taste. Right? Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe we need an Ace of Cups. I'm kind of feeling maybe it's like a Six of Cups, right? Showing that, I don't know, almost showing the exchange, the interaction, right? Almost showing that that things are really successful again, that we're out there. I see somebody, the Six of Cups. I see somebody kind of at the marketplace, just, selling things to the customers, and it's just like, it feels good because the customer, they just keep coming. I'm having a good time. It's just the best day ever, right? I'm kind of thinking Six of Cups. Oh my God. It's the Chariot card again. Got to ring the bell one more time. Double Chariot. So this is really an emphasis, really a confirmation now that this is exactly where you need to be. Do not change a thing right now. Don't let your mind convince you to change jobs, change careers, change course at all. Just stay on track. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't make a lot of changes. Just maybe do a little something different, in your personal life to kind of keep you from making any drastic changes to this main thing, whatever this is, your business, if this is your art, whatever it is, okay? Double Chariot card. Double Chariot. And to me, really, there's two of them, and it kind of means don't change lanes, right? Don't scoot over into the next lane thinking that you're going to go any faster, right? Just stay slow and steady right now. Yeah. But this is an awesome, awesome confirmation. And I think this is going to be absolutely huge for you. And I'm very impressed. Now we're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer every Tuesday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.